Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before we get started, I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, and double honors to the elders, great millstone while I let this truth, and also to the hopefully elect that is scattered abroad. I'd like to say shalom, and come back here today with another great and powerful lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the type of day lesson is a transition of power. So I like to say shalom to all that listen and learn. Hope this will help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So you seeing all sorts of evils are growing in the world, seeing rumors of war, World War III is near. You seeing earthquakes in diverse places, all these different strain of weather patterns. You're seeing volcanic activity throughout the entire world, eruptions just going off throughout the four corners of the earth. Also, this gospel has been preached throughout the four corners of the earth. Then shall the end come. So we're in the end time. So that is that transition of power. United about a transition of power, which in fact is rulership. And that about is that rightful rulership is getting ready to come back on this earth, that righteous kingdom, the kingdom of heaven. And the Lord is getting ready to return and set things back in order. So the title of the daily lesson once again is a transition of power. So we'll get started in the book of Psalm chapter 75 and verse and we'll start up at verse 7. So but the Most High is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. Verse 8, for in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture, and he pours it out of the same. But the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. Verse 9, but I will declare forever, I will sing praises to the Most High, the power of Jacob. Verse 10, and all the horns of the wicked also will I cut off, but the horns of the righteous shall be exalted. So we're in a transition of power, and that is about it. The wicked is getting ready to be cut off forever. That which in fact is Esau, even the so-called white man. We're in that transition of power. Jacob and Esau. This is the struggle in Rebekah's womb. It's only gonna get worse and worse. All hell is getting ready to break loose, and also Jacob's trouble is right upon them. So now we'll get a quick precept. Let's go to Lamentations chapter 4, one moment, and we'll start up at verse 21. Lamentations chapter 4, one moment. Lamentations chapter 4, and we'll start up at verse. This is the cup, the dregs of the cup is getting ready to transfer to the other nations. Another quick precept what I just read. And it reads, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of us. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked. Verse 22, the punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thy iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sin. So that cup is getting ready to pass, a transition of power. And that about is that, they're getting ready to be put down. We're getting ready to be put up, get exalted. And that about is that, we're seeing all these different things that's going on in the earth. We're seeing that the Lord's Spirit is moving through the earth. He's visiting the earth. So Esau, Edom, getting ready to take that cup. They're getting ready to go into slavery for 1,000 years. Their rulership is almost up. You know what I'm saying? That's why it says in Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12 said the devil's getting ready to come down with great wrath because he knowing that he has a short time. His time is up. And that is about it. The Lord is getting ready to snatch him out of rulership and put the rightful owners back in the place, which in fact is Jacob, Israel. The Israel of the Most High. And that is about we cannot wait. So rejoice ye heaven. So that transition of power is constantly taking place. You're seeing all these different things that's going on in the world. That is the struggle in Rebekah's womb, and it's only going to climax. And that about just like a woman in travail with a child, it's coming. The kingdom of heaven is almost here. The kingdom of heaven is almost at hand. And that about we cannot wait. So rejoice ye heaven. So now let's go to Samuel's one moment. Let's go to 1 Samuel one moment. Quick lesson through the spirit at lunchtime. And I hope you get edified by that. Samuel chapter 2, and we'll start up at verse 7. A little bit more edification. One moment. And it reads, he raises up the poor out of the dust and lifted up the beggar from the dunghill to set them among princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he has set the world upon them. Verse 9, he will keep the feet of his saint, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness. For by strength shall no man prevail. Verse 10, the adversaries of the Lord shall be broken to pieces. Out of heaven shall he thunder upon them. The Lord shall judge the ends of the earth, and he shall give strength unto his king, and exalt the horns of his anointed. That's talking about the elect. So that is about the wicked is getting ready to be cut off, and that is about that he have bounds that he cannot pass. And that is about we're in that time now. We're in that season. You know, the Lord, and the Lord said also that, you know, though it tarry, wait for it. It shall surely come. And that is about we're at that point in time. That transition of power is now, you know, and that is about that you're seeing all these different things that's going on in the world, seeing that this place, Babylon the Great, is constantly decaying. It's getting weaker and weaker at the foundation. The Lord is tearing this place down through the what? Through the words, through the mouthpiece of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, which is fact are the prophet. And the Lord is getting ready to do a mighty work. And that about all we got to do is stand still. The Lord is constantly moving through there. He's moving all the chess pieces around. And that about the great day of the Lord is fast approaching. So that about it's time to repent. It's time to watch, pray, and be sober, because we're right upon them time. Jacob trouble is right upon them. That a great time of trouble that we have never seen before, and also a great global event is getting ready to happen. That global reset, but the global reset that is coming is the kingdom of heaven. That transition of power, we are very close. So rejoice ye heaven once again. So now, let's go to Daniel chapter 2. One moment, quick lesson through spirit at lunchtime. Daniel chapter 2. I'm hoping you get edified by that. Daniel chapter 2, and we'll start up at verse 21. One moment, and it reads. And he changes the times and the season, and he removes kings and setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise, the elect, and knowledge to them that know understanding. Verse 22, he revealeth the deep and secret things. He knoweth what is in the darkness, and the light dwelleth with them. So that is about it, that, you know, the Lord is in perfect control. And that is about it, you know, he's constantly shifting. He constantly separate. You know what I'm saying? He's bringing that perfection back upon the earth. And that is about it, he's getting ready to cleanse this place with fervent heat. And that is about it, we cannot wait. The Lord is doing a mighty work. So now, let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter, Sirach, chapter 10 and verse 10. We'll start here. And it reads, the physician cutteth off a long disease, and he that is today a king tomorrow shall die. So that is about that physician that we're talking about is Yahushua, our Lord and Savior. He's getting ready to bring that wicked kingdom down, which in fact Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. And the Lord is, you know, when you read about that in Job chapter 9, verse 24, it said the earth was given into his hand. It was given for a certain time, because the Lord had exalted the base men of the earth. And now the Lord is getting ready to cut him off forever. That long disease, the one that's constantly spreading wickedness throughout the entire world. This world is upside down. This is a land of confusion. And the Lord is getting ready to cleanse this place and set everything back into order. We cannot wait. That transition of power is taking place right before our eyes. So now, let's get another quick precept. Let's go to Obadiah. Let's go to Obadiah chapter 1. Obadiah chapter 1. Get a little bit more on that. Obadiah chapter 1. One moment. Obadiah chapter 1. And we'll start up at verse 10. We'll go to verse 10. One moment. Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 10. And it reads, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So that is about, it's talking about Esau, even the so-called white man. When you go back to Jacob and Esau, this is the struggle in Rebekah's womb, the two nations. And that is about it. The elders shall serve the younger. So that's that transition of power. And that's symbolic that we will take him down in the end time through this what? Through the gospel, you know, through the words of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. It's the spirit that quickens us. And that is about it. We have that breath of life in us each and every day. And that is about it, that we seeing that all these different things that's happening. The Lord is making Esau bear each and every day. All the things that was covered is being uncovered. That covering cast has been removed, and the Lord is constantly revealing his secrets to the prophet, because that is about he's in perfect control. So rejoice ye heaven once again. So now let's just drop down to verse 15. Obadiah chapter 1, get a little bit more about the transition of power. Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 15, and it reads, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathens, As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. Verse 16, for as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathens drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. Woo! So that is that transition of power. Right now, we're in our lower state, but that is about it. The Lord is getting ready to put us back in our first state. And that is about it. You know what I'm saying? We cannot wait. And that is about all our enemy is getting ready to pay. Recompense and judgment is right upon. We read upon that great day of the Lord. Also, judgment is right upon all these heathen nations. The Lord is getting ready to repay all them that kept us down as a nation. And that is about it. We cannot wait. The Lord is getting ready to set it up. So now, that transition of power. So now, let's go to Sirach. Let's go back to Sirach. Sorry about the moving around, but just through the Spirit. Sirach chapter 10, we'll start back up at verse 4. Sirach chapter 10 and verse 4. And it reads, the power of the earth is in the hands of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. So that is the kingdom of heaven. In the Lord, all power is in the Lord's hand, and the Lord is in perfect control. So the so-called white man, he's not running anything. Only thing he's doing is doing the Lord's will from the left-hand side. He said he will let until he be taken out of the way. So he's doing his purpose. And that is about it. The elect, we're doing our purpose, constantly spreading this word, constantly trying to get the elect sealed so we can get out of here, so we can get to our final rest. This is not our rest. This place is polluted with wickedness, because the idea about it, the one that is ruling right now is ruling in wickedness. And this place is upside down, a land of confusion. Great death and mourning is here. And the idea about it, the Lord is getting ready to revise this place. He's getting ready to cleanse this place and set up that beautiful kingdom, the kingdom of heaven. So now, let's go to, let's get another quick precept. Let's go to Daniel chapter 4. One moment. Daniel chapter 4 and verse 17. One moment. And it reads, this matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the Holy One, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Genesis chapter 25 and 25. The first one came out red. Not about it. He's only doing the Lord's will. All the power is in the Lord's hand. And in due season, the Lord is getting ready to set up that profitable kingdom, which in fact is the kingdom of heaven. And that is about we will be what our Lord and Savior forever and forever. We cannot wait. Woo! So rejoice ye heaven. So the Lord is in perfect control. Whatever you see what's going on through there, it look bad. It's all this death and mourning, and great destruction. But that is the Lord is in perfect control. He said he will not let a hair on your head be harmed if you're part of the elect. And that is about the Lord will see us through the fire. He said we will be tried as gold is tried in the fire. That is that transition of power. He's bringing us back into perfection and back under his will each and every day through the spirit and the power of Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. One moment. And that is about it that we're very close. That transition of power is constantly taking place, and the kingdom of heaven is very close. So now, let's go to Genesis chapter 25. A little bit more edification. Genesis chapter 25, one moment. Quick lesson at lunchtime. Genesis chapter 25, one moment. Genesis chapter 25, and we'll start up at verse 22. Genesis chapter 25 and verse 22, one moment. And it reads, the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. Verse 23, and the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb. The two manner of people shall be separate from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other, Israel, Jacob, and the elder shall serve the younger, Esau. The other people, which in fact are the heathen nation. And that is that we're in that struggle right now. And that is that, this is about a birthright in a bloodline. And that is about that, the devil's getting ready to come down with great wrath, because that is about he's angry because he's trying to will the birthright back to himself. But that is about it. He's only doing the will from the left-hand side. And also the Lord is getting ready to set up that profitable kingdom. And that is about it. The kingdom of heaven is constantly coming. Even though we're in the birth pains, seeing the uproars of the people, you're seeing rumors of wars in diverse places. We read upon World War III. It is here. Jacob's trouble read upon the RFD microchip, which is in fact the mark of the beast. All these things are happening because we're in the end time, and the Lord is getting ready to change everything back to where it was. You know what I'm saying? Back in the way when it was back in the Garden of Eden. You know what I'm saying? The Lord's getting ready to cleanse this place and revise this place. You know what I'm saying? And about it, it's going to be a beautiful kingdom forever and forever. So like, and about you seeing all this wickedness. Wickedness had constantly polluted the whole earth. But the Lord is getting ready to cleanse this place with fervent heat. And now all this unbelief, all these ones that don't have the faith, is getting ready to be a thing of the past. The 2/3 is getting ready to be cut off and die. And the 1/3 will be brought through the fire. And that's another transition of fire, and a transition of power, and also a great separation. Salaki. And that about is that, you know, we are here getting a little excited, but my tongue getting a little dry. But now let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 6. Just a quick lesson at lunchtime. This transition of power is taking place right before our eyes. He's constantly moving the chess pieces around. And that about it's time for you to heed. It's time for you to seek the Lord, because that about it, that when the Lord returns, there will be no more talking. So now, let's go to 2nd Ezra. We'll start up 2nd Ezra chapter 6, and we'll start up at verse, one moment. And we'll start up at verse, one moment. We'll start up at verse 6. And it reads, "Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, Yahushua, and through none other. By me also they shall be ended, and by none other." So that is about it, that the Lord is the beginning and the end. He's already declared the end from the beginning. And that is about it, that that's what's going on right now. The Lord is declaring the end through what? Through his mouthpiece, through the prophet, the elect, the house of David. We constantly declaring the kingdom of heaven, because we can feel it. You know, we can, you know, right now, even though it's not here right now, but it's a people first, you know what I'm saying? And also it will manifest itself physically, the kingdom of heaven. And that is about it, said, we believe in things that we have not seen, but yet we believe. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Our salvation is very close, that we yet believe. This transition of power is taking place. And the Lord said, "Behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me." That kingdom of heaven is coming. Cannot stop this train. And that is about it, that like a woman in a travail. So these birth pains are constantly contracting. So, you know, things are getting ready to get a whole lot worse. Jacob's trouble is right upon them. So that is about it's time to seek the Lord and come back under total subjection to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. So now, let's start back up at verse, hoping I wasn't rambling. Let's start back up at verse 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 8. And it reads, "And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau." That's that transition of power. At verse 9, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow." So that is that transition of power. One earth age is getting ready to go down. One rulership, the Lord is getting ready to bring it down. And the kingdom, Jacob is the beginning of it that follow. That meaning that righteous kingdom is getting ready to be set up, the kingdom of heaven. So the Lord is in perfect control. You know, the Lord bring up one and bring down another. So the Lord is, you know, he is the director. So we don't have anything to worry about, but constantly walk in the paths of right. Constantly keep the faith each and every day. Faith and work work hand in hand. So that is about it. We don't have anything to worry about, but constantly believe, constantly ask the Lord to have mercy upon you, because we read upon a great and glorious return of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. So now, let's go to one moment. Let's get a quick precept, one moment. Then we'll close out. Let's go to Psalm chapter 13. One moment. Psalm chapter 13, and we'll close out in a few seconds. Psalms chapter 13, and we'll start up at verse 7. And it reads, "He raises up the poor out of the dust, and lifted up the needy out of the dunghill." That's the elect. Verse 8. That he may set him with princes, even with the princes of his people. So, you know, that's talking about the house of David, and that is about the elect. And we constantly rising up out of all of this dust, all this confusion, all this wickedness. We know who we are now, and that is about it. We're coming under total subjection to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. And also the prophecy are constantly popping left and right. You know what I'm saying? His word is not returned to him void. And whoa, man, a lot of things are happening. And we are very close. World War III can break out at any given time. And that about it, that transition to power is constantly it's taking control. And that about it, the Lord is in perfect control. And whoo, we cannot wait. We seeing all these different things. The end is being manifest left and right. That transition to power. So now we'll go to our last and final scripture. Let's go back to Sirach. We'll close out here. Let's go back to Sirach chapter 10. One moment. Sirach chapter 10, and we'll close out here. Sirach chapter 10. One moment. Sirach chapter 10 and verse 8. One moment. And it reads, because of unrighteous dealing, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another, Esau and Jacob. So the kingdom is getting ready to be transferred back to to Israel, and that about it, which in fact is Jacob, and that about it, that by injuries, by deceits and wickedness, murder, all sorts of innocent blood was shed. Who is that thief? Esau Edom. And that about it, he's getting ready to pay. He's getting ready to drink the dregs of the cup, and that about it, that the Lord is getting ready to set everything back into order once again. And that about we constantly warning you left and right. That transition to power is taking place once again. So we're going to read that one more time. We're going to close out. Sirach chapter 10 and verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealing, injuries, and riches got by deceit, Esau Edom, he is the thief. The kingdom of heaven is transferred from one people to another. So that is about it. That is, Jacob, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it. Is that there is the beginning of it that follow, which in fact is the kingdom of heaven. Salak, and that is about it that we are here. Birth pain, the struggle in Rebecca's womb is getting ready to come to the final climax. And that is about we constantly warning you left and right. And that is about out of you will hear or out of you will forbear. And that is about it. We are here. That transition to power is here. The Lord is getting ready to set up that righteous king forever. The righteous is getting ready to flourish on this earth. And deceit and all this type of wickedness is getting ready to be quenched. And that is about we cannot wait. So the kingdom of heaven is at hand. So the title of the daily lesson once again is a transition of power. So I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rakakadash. I like to say Shalom.